I miss him every day.
Cheryl Moore lost her son A.J. Betts 9 years ago, but the tears and the pain are still fresh.
I would say that he got more flack for being biracial than he did for his cleft lip and cleft palate. He didn't let those things get him down for the most part, or at least I thought. That was until AJ was outed as being gay about a year and a half before he killed himself at the age of 16.
Through the tremendous pain of her loss, Cheryl was comforted knowing AJ was an organ donor and that he helped others in death. But it wasn't until a conversation a year later that she learned not all of AJ's wishes were honored.
The organ donation woman said, "Well, Cheryl, we thought you knew AJ's corneas couldn't be donated." And I said, "What?" And they said, "Well, he's gay."
There's a law in the United States that says that any man who's had sex with another man in the last 5 years cannot donate their eye tissue.
Dr. Michael Puente is an ophthalmologist who's leading the push to change the policy in place since 1994.
In one calendar year alone, we found that between about 1,600 and 3,200 eyes were being discarded that otherwise would have been eligible, but for no other reason than that the FDA says that gay men can't donate their eyes.
In the 80s and 90s, when there weren't therapies for people with HIV, and the testing regimen was not nearly as efficient and sophisticated as it is now, this policy was probably appropriate. But those days have passed, and they passed a long time ago.
Kevin Corcoran is with the Eye Bank Association of America. They, along with similar organizations, support changing the policy. And more than 50 lawmakers sent a letter to the FDA asking them to update the rules, citing Dr. Puente's research and AJ's story.
I can't imagine that there's a person out there who can't see, and it's because of this law that they could have had my son's corneas and now they can't.
Many forms of blindness can be cured by corneal transplant surgery.
This is the opportunity for them to be able to go back to work, go back to school, be able to take care of themselves.
Change to the 28-year-old policy could be coming. An FDA document shows guidance for donor tissues and cells is on a list to be updated in 2022. While Cheryl will never look into AJ's eyes again as she'd hoped, she's optimistic other moms of gay sons will be able to one day.
If the law is changed so that gay people can donate their corneas, ultimately that means that AJ Betts will have changed the world. And that's a beautiful legacy for my son.
If you're thinking about suicide, you can talk to someone right now who can listen and help. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 800-273-8255.